Hi, my name is Mike Solowski. I'm a kinesiologist and corrective exercise specialist with the Norwest Co-op Community Health Center's Hands Kai project. We're here today in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. We're going to be discussing bodyweight exercises, resistance band exercises, and mobility exercises. Now, before we start anything, please consult your primary provider if you have any concerns about why you shouldn't be doing any sort of exercises. These can range from things like uncontrolled diabetes, hypertension, or heart conditions. While you're doing any of the exercises, if you notice any abnormal pain, stop doing the exercises. That said, also with chest pain, jaw, neck, throat, or arm pain, discontinue any exercise and see your primary provider. While you're doing any exercises, if you notice that you have a shortness of breath, unusual tiredness, dizziness, lightheadedness, joint or abnormal muscle discomfort, discontinue exercise and see your primary provider. These bodyweight exercises I'm about to show you are scalable and easy to do at home and are very low impact. The calf raise. In order to do this, you can use a wall or a standing chair. Alright, so you can see my calves. Again, feet shoulder width apart. Place your hands for support. All you're doing is springing up onto your toes. Hold for a count of 5 seconds, and then slowly lower yourself back down. As you do it, brace your stomach, keep your feet shoulder width apart. If needed, you can use a chair or something else in front of you to aid in balance. In order to do it, you're aiming to shoot your hips backwards. This is called a hinge. To do that, put your hands on your thighs and slide them down the front of your legs. You're aiming to not allow your knees to go over your toes. I'll give you a different angle to see that. Hands on the thighs, slide your butt back. Do not allow your knees to drift over your toes. This is the makings of a bodyweight squat. Once you get more balance and you don't need to put your hands on your thighs, initiate the movement with the hip hinge. Put your hands out in front of you or behind your head and shoot your butt back. As you get more and more range of motion, you can dip down lower. Again, do not allow the knees to go over the toes. And slide back up. You should feel this exercise in your glutes, back of your legs, and the front of your legs. It should not be felt in the lower back. For this exercise, we're going to use just a folded towel on the floor. Lay on your back with your hands to your side for support. Flex your butt by raising your hips up into the air. You should be balancing on the back of your shoulders. Keep your legs slightly bent and slide your heels towards your butt and back. The lunge can be completed in a variety of different ways. This can be done going in reverse, side to side, or forward. You can also alternate your legs at each different repetition. So the purpose of this video, we'll just go with forward. Brace your stomach, take a large step forward, drop your rear knee towards the floor. You should feel a strain in your buttocks and the front of your leg. Lift yourself back up and return back to standing. Here's a forward lunge from a different angle. Again, take a large step forward, brace your stomach so you stay upright, drop the rear knee, do not let the front knee go over the toes. Return back to standing and switch legs. The hamstrings are largely important for all locomotion. Basically, as you walk, the hamstring powers you forward. For this variation, we're going to be using a folded towel on the floor. Keep your back flat to the floor, your hands out to the sides for support. As you do the motion, raise your hips into the air. You should be balancing on the back of your shoulders. Bring your heels towards your butt, and then extend outwards. The hamstring leg curl variation 2. For this variation, we're going to be using the exercise ball, which is readily available at virtually any sports activity store. Place your calves on the ball, place your hands out to the side, raise your butt into the air, and you're pulling your heels to your butt, and then extending. The push-up. I'm going to show you 3 different variations of doing the push-up. For these, it's important to brace your core and to keep your shoulders relaxed as you do the motion. Keep your hands about shoulder width apart and in line with your shoulders, and slowly lower yourself towards the wall. That's your wall push-up. The low-level push-up will be slightly harder than doing the wall push-up. Again, brace your stomach, keep your hands shoulder width apart and in line with your shoulders as you do the exercise. Some people may find it easier to use their knees, but try using your stomach braced and keeping your body in a plank-like position. Again, hands shoulder width apart, and keep the shoulders as relaxed as possible. Get into a plank position, brace your stomach, and lower your body down. That's your push-up. This exercise targets your core or your abdominals. I'm going to show you 3 different variations, starting with the easiest and progressing to the hardest. Place your knees on the mat and your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Do not allow your shoulders to flare out. Hold this position for about 30 seconds by contracting your abdominals. To increase the difficulty, raise off of your knees and hold this position. To increase it further, drop down to your elbows, clench your legs and your abdominals, and hold this for, again, 30 seconds. You should not be feeling this in your back. If you are, drop down to your knees and try to hold a position from there. I'm going to show you 2 different variations of this exercise. This will work the obliques, which also tie into your spine. So if you have back pain, these are very largely important to strengthen. Keep your knees bent and your hips back. Your elbow should be directly underneath your shoulder. Shoot your hips forward and at an angle to lift yourself up. If you find that this hurts your shoulder, grab the rear of your shoulder and just pull forward. Hold this for about 30 seconds. To increase the difficulty of this exercise, put one foot in front of the other and pull your body off of the knees. You should now be balancing on the elbow and on your feet. Again, hold this exercise for about 30 seconds before switching to the other side. The tricep is the back of the arm. It's very important to keep this muscle strong for any kind of reaching, grabbing, pulling exercises. For this, sit in a chair with sturdy arms. Keep your stomach braced. An inch away from the chair slowly. Try not to allow your shoulders to roll forward. The idea here is to bend your elbows back behind you. Lower yourself down into the chair and push downwards to raise yourself back up. Again, the motion all comes from the elbow, not from the shoulders. Place your hands under the small of your back. Extend one leg and keep one knee bent. Relax your shoulders and slightly raise your elbows off of the floor. To perform the motion, you simply unweight your head and shoulders and pull them towards the ceiling, raising only an inch off of the floor. You should feel the contraction in your stomach. Hold this for a count of up to 10 seconds. Lower yourself back down to the floor and release the contraction. You have now a bunch of different exercises that you can use in your own program. Putting them together can seem daunting, but try not to let it discourage you. Find a few exercises that you're comfortable with and perform them. There's really no need to get hung up on how many repetitions or how many sets that you do. At first, just go through the motions and learn to feel the muscles work as you're doing each exercise. You typically do not need to go over 12 repetitions per exercise. That said, as time goes on, you can add in more and more sets. For instance, if I wanted to do the bodyweight squat, I could perform that 12 times, take a short rest, and perform another 12 repetitions before moving on to the next exercise. Adding in some cardio, such as walking, a brisk walk, taking the dog for a stroll, hiking, whatever the case may be, will add to the actual benefits of the physical activity.